Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tips and Tools for Recovery That Works. In these strange and uncertain times, many of us in recovery feel the added stress of worrying about a possible relapse. Well, you're not alone because stress, isolation, and boredom are known risk factors for relapse. Relapses can and do often happen, and they're part of recovery itself, but instead of worrying about them, you're much better off just preparing for them. And to do that, it's a good idea to take a good look at the root causes of any relapse, and that's giving in to urges. Smart Recovery has several awesome tools to help you deal with urges, including the ABC tool, the cost-benefit analysis or CBA, the DEADS tool, or the disarm method, which we'll cover on our next episode. If you haven't watched our Tips and Tools episodes about these tools, check them out. They're right here on YouTube. Regardless of what tool you use to fight urges, in this episode I want to step back and examine what urges are and what they aren't. They aren't rational, and we tend to give them way more power than they really deserve. Here are 4 common misconceptions about urges. Number 1, urges are excruciating or unbearable. Are they? Nobody ever died as a result of urges, although they may have died as a result of giving in to those urges. Urges are just thought patterns. Thought patterns you create in your mind and have learned how to control. Sure, they might seem unbearable in the moment, but remember, moments pass. It's a demonstrated fact that urges auto-destruct after about 10 to 15 minutes of not acting on them. Number 2, urges will compel you to use. Nope, it's not true. An urge isn't some sort of puppet master pulling your strings. We all have free will. Urges don't compel people to relapse. People relapse because they surrender to an urge. Now remember, urges can and don't make you do anything. They're just an invitation to do something. Like any other invitations, you can either accept it or decline it. If you practice refusing these invitations, you'll get really good at it. And if you want to become good at abstaining, practice abstaining, whether you want to or not. Number 3, urges will not go away until you drink or use. Well, that's not true either in a general sense. I mean, sure, your urges may go away temporarily after you relapse, but we all know how this works. It will only be replaced with an even greater urge to continue drinking or using or gambling or whatever in ever increasing amounts. Urges will and do go away after a few minutes of not acting on them, or when you distract yourself with other thoughts or work some of the smart recovery tools we mentioned. Number 4, cravings and urges will drive you crazy. Like put you in a straitjacket crazy or Hannibal Lecter crazy? Of course not. You're a rational person. Nobody can go crazy from cravings or urges. I mean, you can certainly make yourself feel crazy when you experience an urge, but feeling crazy and being crazy are totally different things. One of the great things about the Smart Recovery tools is that they let you step back and examine your feelings about urges rationally before you form beliefs about them. And in forming better beliefs about them, you can make smarter choices and avoid the adverse consequences of giving into those urges. And once you see urges for what they really are, irrational constructs of your mind, you can stop worrying about them as much. Hey, I hope these Smart Recovery tools really help. If you've used them, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a line at tipsandtools@smartrecovery.org. Thank you for joining us. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next episode of Smart Recovery's Tips and Tools for Recovery That Works.